Hi everyone, and welcome to Three Bears Cookery Club. My name is Ruth. I founded Three Bears Cookery Club 4 years ago in 2016, and we run cookery clubs for children, sort of suitable. Each guideline is around 2, but I always think if they can sit in a high chair and they enjoy playing with food, there's no reason why you can't start your cooking adventures with your little ones earlier. The younger the better, because you're getting them feeling lots of different textures, and and as they get older, they're going to be able to help you more in the kitchen and be able to do more things when it comes to baking. So so get them started cooking. So the purpose obviously for our clubs is just to make life a little bit easier. So we tell you the recipes that we're going to do, we give you the ingredients, and then obviously we help you. We help you make them. So at the moment, obviously, we're just running online clubs. So if you head over to our social media, which is Three Bears Cookery Club, we're on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, you'll be able to find all the information for our clubs. And we also run free live bake-alongs every Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock over on our YouTube channel. And all the information to join us live is also on our social media handles. And then we'll obviously any more information about virtual parties or anything like that, you can go and check out our website. And if you want to join us, then let me know. Okay, so welcome to our session today. So today I've got one of my daughters with me. I've got Rosie with me, and she's going to be my helper, my little assistant with me making our muffins. So today we are making banana muffins. Now, they're not just any banana muffins, okay? We have some honey in there and we have some chocolate chips. I love banana muffins with chocolate chips. They're just delicious. Okay, so we're going to walk you through step by step, and this will give you an idea. It's exactly what I do today is exactly what's on our club, so there's going to be no surprises. So let's get started. So first of all, just to make sure you've got all the ingredients, so we'll weigh them out as we go along. But what ingredients you'll need today is a mixing bowl, wooden spoon, scales, and a muffin tray. Okay, and then our ingredients, we need 50 grams of butter, 50 grams of light brown sugar, an egg, 2 tablespoons, 150 grams of self-raising flour, a banana, 3 tablespoons of porridge, 50 grams of chocolate chips, and some milk. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do is we are going to weigh out our butter. So what I'd like you to do in your bowl, I'd like you to weigh out 50 grams of butter. Okay, so what's important when we do our butter is that we make sure that we soften it. So we're using, I find that the ones in the tubs, they're a lot softer and easier to use for baking sort of cakes and biscuits and things. If I was using pastry, I'd probably prefer to use a block of butter because they're a bit harder. So if you're using a block of butter, especially for cakes, I suggest you get it out and you just leave it to get it to warm up, because you'll find it so much easier, and especially for the little ones doing it. Okay, so we're going to get our butter in our bowl and we're going to give it a really good squash with our spoon. So we need 50 grams of butter. Okay, so we're going to give it a really good squash with the back of our spoon, and we are going to use it and we're going to squash it just to the bottom of our bowl like this. Okay, I'm taking over Rosie, aren't I? So Rosie, just give it a really, and so soften it up, just make it so much easier, obviously, for the little ones to mix everything in if your butter's already soft. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is we need to add our sugar. Okay, so I want you to add 50 grams of light brown sugar to your bowl. Okay, there's a spoon in there already. So 50 grams of light brown sugar, and then we're gonna weigh that out. always find it easier to spoon it in, and this way you can let your little ones, they can spoon it in to measure it out, because it just makes it feel like they're partaking. So spoon your brown sugar out, 50 grams, and we're going to pop that in our bowl along with our butter. How are we doing? Nearly there. We're nearly there. So 50 grams of light brown sugar, mixing into our butter. So what Rose is doing, she's just giving it a squash down, because we're using these Thala cups, which are really good. Recommend, especially for little ones, a really good a visual line reference that you can see, and they can just spoon the ingredients in without knocking the scales and adjusting them when they touch them. So these are really good. I always use these in all of our clubs for our dry ingredients. So as you can see, we've got, yeah, that's perfect. So we've got 50 grams of light brown sugar. So we're going to pop that in a bowl. Now, because we've done a good job in squashing our butter together, it shouldn't take much to mix that sugar into our butter. We want it really nice. We want it really nice and soft and fluffy. Okay, so we're going to use the back of our spoon, and we're going to give it a really good squash into the butter to make it really, really soft, really fluffy. And so all the sugar's mixed in. You're managing. This is a bit where they always go, my arm aches, but keep going, you can do it. Let's build those muscles with some baking. That's it, Rosie. Give it a good squash together. And then, so we've tied out already. So just give that a really good squash in. What we want, we don't want to see any sugar at the bottom of your bowl. Okay, and just make sure that's all mixed in. Wonderful. So once you've done that, the next ingredient, well, the next two ingredients we're going to add one egg. Okay, so first let's add our egg. So you want to crack your egg. If you've got really little ones with you, what I'd suggest you do is you crack it into a bowl. Okay, and then if they put any eggshells in there, you can just fish them out. Okay, as before they go into the mixture, you'll find it much easier. And a little tip for you: if you do drop a shell into it, use the bigger part of the eggshell to get the shell out of the egg. Okay, it's much easier to remove them. You just pop that in there. Yeah, right then. So we've got our egg. And we're going to pop that in there. We've got no eggshells. And then we're going to give that a really good mix in. Give that a good mix in with our egg. We don't want to lose any mixture. So we're beating our egg now into our mixture. And if your butter's nice and soft, obviously this is going to be, again, it's so much easier to mix it in. That first step is so important. That's it. So give that go on, Rosie. Get those muscles going. That's it. So wonderful. So once your egg is mixed in, we are going to add 2 tablespoons of honey. Okay. So we've got 2 tablespoons. Do you want me to squeeze it? So we're going to add. You can always scrape it off with your spoon. We do 1 and 2. Okay, so we've got 2 tablespoons of honey. We're going to mix that into our mixture. That's it. Just pop it in the bowl when you're done. That's it. Right then, so we're going to give that another good mix in. Make sure all our honey is nicely mixed in. Does it smell? Yeah, smells good. We've got the approval. Smells good. Wonderful. Okay, so just to recap, we have 50 grams of butter in mixed with our 50 grams of light brown sugar. We've we squashed it all together and it's nice and soft and fluffy, and we added our egg in. And now we've just added 2 tablespoons of honey and we've given that a mix in. Okay, so here goes for our fun part, okay, which I know most of when we do this in our clubs, a lot of the children do actually adore this bit because it's a bit squishy. So you're going to get a banana. Now, if you've got, ours are quite new, but if you've got like one that's about looking a bit sorry for itself in the fruit bowl, use those because they're just the best bananas to use when it's like almost pretty much black. Always use those for your baking, but we haven't got any of those unfortunately, so they've all been eaten. So we've just got a fresh banana, but yeah, if you can use one of your old ones. So we're going to peel the banana and then you're just going to pop it in your food bag. Okay, now so you've got a food bag. What I would suggest you do, especially if you've got little ones, because they'll probably go a bit gung-ho with it, I would just knot it at the end like this. Okay, so it can't escape. Then what you want them to do is you just want them to squash it. Okay, and then they can have really good fun squashing their banana, giving it a squish. We want this to be mush, okay, so we want it really mushy. That's it, so give it a really good squeeze, and we're going to squash all that banana. Does it feel nice? Yeah. That's it. I give that a good squash. Wonderful. So once you have squashed that, guess what we're going to do? We're going to add it to our bowl. So we're going to add that to our mixture. This is our banana. So you can either pull it apart at the top, or you can just snip a little bit at the end and squeeze it through. So if you're pulling it apart at the top, what I tend to do is, this is where it gets messy, just use your thumbs and we're going to turn it inside out. If you've got really little ones, okay, I would suggest you snip the corner and then they can just help you squeeze it out into the bowl. And as you can see, this is what I'm saying. If you like to get messy, that's the best way to do it. And you get covered in banana. Wonderful. Excellent, Rosie. Do you want to go and wash your hands? So Rosie's just going to go and wash her hands. So we're going to put our banana into our bowl. And then once you've done that, we're gonna mix that in. We want to now mix the banana into our bowl. Okay, so we just give that a good mix in. It won't take much. So it will look a little bit lumpy, but that's fine because we've got our banana in now. Wonderful. Right then, so next thing is our porridge oats. So we want to add 3 tablespoons of porridge oats into our mixture. So add that 3 in. We're going to give that, and then we're going to give it another good mix. Again, so I always let even if they're little, they can, even if you measured it out and you got them to tip it in from another little bowl, they can still do this. They can still mix. You've done 3. So give that a really good mix in. That's it. So we've got quite a lot of ingredients now, and it is all coming together really nicely. Okay, so we've creamed our butter and our sugar together. We've added our egg. We've added our honey. And we've squashed our banana, so it's all really mushy. We've added that in along with our porridge oats. Okay, so the next thing I want you to add in is our flour. So we're going to add in 150 grams of self-raising flour. Okay, so I want you to pour that in. Now, just because you're going to see us adding an extra ingredient in a minute, we've only got plain flour, so we're going to add in 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So if you're using self-raising flour, please ignore this bit because you don't need to add any in because you have baking powder in your self-raising flour. Obviously, we just need to add this in because we're using plain flour. So add in your 150 grams of self-raising flour, and then we're going to give that a really good mix. And then give that a good mix, and we want to mix all the flour in, and then and then we'll add some milk in a second as well. A teaspoon and a half, a spoon and a half. Yeah, so like I say, we're just adding baking powder because we're using plain flour. You don't need to do this if you're using self-raising flour because it's already in there. That's it. So we're gonna, yeah, wonderful. Would you mind just grabbing the milk for me because I forgot to get it out. So once you've added your flour, we're going to start to give it a really nice mix in. Manage. Okay, so we'll add, I just got the milk, so we're going to mix in our flour. So you see, Rosie's we're folding our flour in, we're going around the sides and we're folding it over. Okay, so we're going to want to get all that flour into the mixture. That's it, and as you can see, it's starting to it's a little bit stiff. So we're going to add a good splash of milk, okay? So we want our mixture to just fall off our spoon. So your best thing to do is just to add a little bit at a time. Okay, so add a little bit of time. If you need some more, you can always add some more in. If it's in, you can't take it out, or not very easily anyway. So it will be quite stiff. I'm going to add a bit more into that. Just a minute. And that should do it. Is it gone everywhere? And that's the thing, mix it slowly once you add the milk in because it spurts up. So give it a really lovely, good mix in. We want our mixture to just fall off our spoon. Okay, how are we doing? Do you want me to have a quick go? So it might be quite stiff. So just make sure, always just make sure that we've all got, that's it. There we go, as you can see, that just falls off the spoon. Lovely. So last but not least, we want to add in our chocolate chips, which is always the most exciting part, I think, for any children. The chocolate chips part. So we're going to add in approximately 50 grams of chocolate chips. Okay, so give them add them into your mixture. And then you can stir those in once they're in. And then once you've given them the mix, that's our mixture complete. We've done it. You've made it. So excellent, really good job. So once we've mixed those in, all we need to do now is we need to pop them into our muffin cases. So Rosie's going to give them a mix in. So you're going to get your muffin tray and your muffin cases, and I need both. So we've got quite small cases. I couldn't get these out earlier actually. We've got quite small cases, so I'm struggling to find. I couldn't get any muffin cases. So we're going to add. So we'll make 12. But I reckon if you do it with the muffin cases, then you might have around 8, maybe 6 to 8. So we're going to have 12. So with our cupcakes, so you don't want to overfill them. Okay, so what we want to do is so with our cupcake cases, we just want a spoon in each. With our muffin cases, you're probably looking at 2 spoons. Yeah. Right then, so we're going to divide our mixture between the 2. Okay, so Rosie's now we're gonna spoon that in. That's it. So she's getting it with the big spoon, and then using the metal spoon then just to scrape it in. It's easier if they've got little hands. you know, get them using 2 metal spoons, okay? You'll find it so much easier. And, you know, if they get it on the side, don't worry, just give it a wipe off with some kitchen towel before you put it in the oven. It's not a problem. So cooking time, so you want to go and get your oven on whilst they're busily putting their mixture into their tins. It's 180 degrees. Now, it will vary depending on the size of your cases. So for a muffin cases, because obviously we wanted to make muffins, I would imagine sort of like 20 to 25 minutes. Cupcake size, I'd like 15 to 20 minutes. You'll know when they're ready. They'll be golden and they'll be springy to touch. So if you gently pop your finger on the top, they'll spring back. Okay, so that's when we know when they're done. So we've got our cases, and then before we go off, before we're going to put them in the oven, we are going to just put a few porridge oats. I'm just going to get some out for Rosie. We're going to put a few porridge oats, okay, on top of each mixture. Okay, just a few. I'm going to put some porridge oats on top of each one. Okay, so put a few porridge oats on top, and then and finally just a sprinkle. This gives it a really nice finish. Don't want much. So we've got our porridge oats, and we're just going to have a sprinkle of brown sugar on top. If you've got any more, scrape it around the sides. Right, I'm going to let Rosie do the other ones. So, okay, so we've got our muffin cases. So Rosie's going to do the next one. So once you've just remember, once you've spooned in your mixture, we are going to then top the tops with some porridge oats and a little bit of brown sugar. Not overly, but just a little bit. What you could do is you could just mix a bit of up in a bowl, like a teaspoon of each in a bowl, and then just get them to use the fingers just to sprinkle it over the top. And then they're ready to go in the oven. Okay. Thank you so much for joining our baking today. Looking forward to obviously to seeing you all soon. Obviously, please, if you do join us, do head over to our social media and say hi, say that you joined us, show me a picture of your bakes. Actually, adore seeing it. It's one thing about, obviously, we've pivoted to doing these online clubs, is that you don't get to see what the children have made as much. So if you joined us today for What's On for Kids, then please do share a picture of your bakes, because like I say, we absolutely adore seeing them. So head over to our social media, which is Three Bears Cookery Club. Okay, well, finally, just enjoy your muffins, okay, and we will look forward to seeing you soon. Okay, right, bye everyone, bye.